I hope you don't get the sickness.
My boy Kurt is a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedle dumb, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
Well, the tree and the decorations are packed away for another year, but the house still echoes from last week's better times. And this review segment does as well because I thought, what the heck, let's squeeze in one more Christmas-themed VHS movie to end the year. But we went from Mickey's Christmas Carol last week to 101 Dalmatians Christmas this week, which is quite the loss in quality, delivery, storytelling, pacing, and overall effort. We press play, coming soon to VHS, Doug the Movie. Sure, How Toys Saved Christmas. I'll mention this every time I see this trailer. They use the same music bed the WWF used in all their 90s pay-per-view intros. Seriously, look up SummerSlam 1997, If Life Were Fair. Ad for Disney Sing-Along, ad for Spot's Adventure Video. Did you know the Spot cartoon is an Oppenheimer Toy Portfolio Award winner? Well, you do now. Pooh video, Tigger says, it'll make you feel great. And then another character says, Lucy. They're just trolling. Straight up trolling now. Feature program, trippy intro segments like a Disney DVD interactive game intro. A Christmas Cruella. We have an intro where we saw the dogs and we learned their names, but I wasn't paying attention. So we start with a large rotund dog. He's sniffing presents, and a tiny dog telling him not to sniff presents. I think that's the maid. She doesn't have a star for the top of her tree, so she uses a chicken. I'll be honest. This is the period between Christmas and New Year's, and my focus is not existent. We pivot to Cruella's elf setting up her Christmas tree. It's magnificent. We see her fashion studio, and she's basically running a sweatshop. She's making Anita work late on Christmas Eve. Roger stops by to pick Anita up. He came from the vet because one of the pups had a pine needle stuck in its paw. Oh, again, these are the two most boring Disney characters ever created. These are the two that are like, you know, reading in bed one night, and one looks over at the calendar and says, Why, you're right, it's Wednesday. We have Making Love scheduled between 9 and 9:30 tonight. We should commence. Cruella is Scrooge. Okay, we're doing like a Christmas Carol thing here. Cruella is wanting people to work Christmas, then yells at carolers, drives her Cruella mobile over snowmen on her way home. She gets home and the door knocker becomes the ghosts of her 2 henchmen. So inside, the henchmen show up in Jacob Marley chains and they say it's a paranormal intervention. They sing and warn her she's gonna end up like them, and she goes, tone deaf idiots. That's good stuff. This must have been a made-for-TV special because we keep fading to black for commercial breaks. One of the Dalmatians appears as the ghost of Christmas past. The dog makes Cruella's bed into a plane and takes her into the past. We see little Cruella at Christmas morning. She just wants a puppy. She gets a dress instead. We jump ahead. She's a teenager now, opening another Christmas gift, and once again, it's not a puppy. Next up is adult Cruella, still hating Christmas. She comes home to cardboard cutouts of her parents and a toy dog. She wakes up back in her bedroom, and now her room is full of food, and it's the rotund dog playing the part of the ghost of Christmas present. Yes, let's head to Anita and Roger's house and just see how this dial tone of a marriage plays out on Christmas Eve. Why, Anita? What's this incredible sauce you've added to our plain rice Christmas Eve dinner? Oh, why, that's butter, Roger. Oh, Anita, it's scrumptious. Do I have consent to kiss you on the left cheek as a show of my appreciation? Thank you, Roger. You have my permission. That's them. They're that couple. Anita gives him this giant computer, though. And the dogs all get treats. And despite the irony of his name, Lucky is the dog that had the pine needle in his paw, and he's still limping. He's the Tiny Tim here. And despite the fact that Anita bought Roger a computer big enough to fill an entire room, they somehow don't have money to pay for paw surgery for Lucky. Paw surgery from a... I'm sure these two methodically put 4% of every paycheck into an emergency savings account for times like this. You know they do. Cruella is back in her bed, and the Grim Reaper, or as my daughter calls him, the Glim and Gleeper, comes for her. It's the ghost of Christmas future. People are auctioning off her stuff. He takes her to a graveyard. It's her grave, but it turns out she's in a pet cemetery. That's where she's buried? That's kind of funny. She begs for it not to be too late and then promises she will change, and then she wakes up. Was it just a dream? It's morning. But which morning? She goes to the window, throws open the shutters, and yells down below, "What day is it?" And the smart-ass kid looks up and goes, "It's Halloween, lady. Trick or treat." That's really good, actually. This is the first cartoon to crap on that sacred line. Cruella runs around the city giving gifts. She says, "Feliz Navidad." She shows up at Anita and Roger's house. Now, Anita, it's Christmas morning. She's in a housecoat, and the top is open almost enough to show a tiny bit of cleavage, so you know she's going to get a strongly worded lecture from her husband later, politely asking her to stop dressing like a when they have company. Cruella gives the dogs office supplies. She picks up one dog called Whizzer, and it pees on her to end the short. She says some version of "God bless us, everyone." I missed it. There's another short, Coupe Deville. What is happening? The Dalmatians are eating. A delivery truck arrives at Deville Manor. A couple Dalmatians are hiding in the bushes, curious what's happening at Cruella's house. It's a Deville family reunion. A parade of Deville family members arrive. The mom has a contest that says the winner wins all of her fortune. I'm honestly I'm not sure what's going on. The two bumblers are back. One digs underground. The Deville dude wants to create an earthquake, and they do. Now Godzilla in a chef's hat starts stomping towards Roger and Anita's house. I guess they're trying to crush Roger and Anita's house, and they keep bumbling it. I think they're trying to get their land back from Anita and Roger. I barely had enough attention to make it through the first Christmas Carol short this week, but completely checked out of this one early on. I'm sorry. This is like the newer style of cartoon I do not enjoy. It's just noise and quick cuts. Now Roger and Anita are invited to Cruella's family reunion. They show them a slideshow of the Cruella family. Why is this happening? What is the point? This short has lost me in ways no other Disney short ever has. I don't know if it's just because I'm on holidays and it's -40 outside, and that's -40 in Canada temperature. If you're from the US and you don't know what the conversion is, I don't either, but trust me, it's colder than you're used to it being. I can't pay attention and I have no idea what's happening. The Deville family tried to get their land back from Anita and Roger. They wanted their land back, so I guess the Deville family are supposed to be like indigenous people here. I have no idea, but they failed, and we fade to black, and I failed. I'm just going to ignore everything that happened in the last 20 minutes. I didn't sign on for a Deville family reunion. I popped this VHS tape into the VCR because it was Christmas themed, and I immediately regretted it. You know, at the beginning of December, I made the bold statement that there was not a bad version of a Christmas Carol cartoon ever made, and since then I've sat through this, and I've sat through Bah Humduck, so I'm finishing 2021 as a liar.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has.